The Forgotten Letter. On a quiet, rainy afternoon, Oliver, a young man with a passion for writing, was sifting through old letters and notes in his family's attic. Oliver had recently moved back to his childhood home to help his aging parents organize and clean up the house. The attic was filled with forgotten memories, dusty photo albums, worn-out books, and boxes of things he barely remembered. As he rummaged through one of the boxes, his hand brushed against a yellowed envelope tucked beneath a stack of old newspapers. It looked different from the others, older, more delicate. The envelope had a name written in faded ink, Emma Johnson. Discovery of a mystery. Curiosity piqued, Oliver carefully opened the letter. He unfolded the fragile paper and read the message inside. Dear Emma, I hope this letter finds you well. There is something important I need to tell you. I have kept this secret for a long time, and I believe it's time you know. Please meet me at the old bridge by the river at sunset tomorrow. Yours, Edward. Oliver's heart raced as he read the mysterious note. Who was Emma? And who was Edward? He didn't recognize either name, but something about the letter felt urgent and heartfelt. Could it be a love letter from decades ago? Or was it something even more significant? Embarking on a search. The mystery was too compelling to ignore. Determined to uncover the story behind the letter, Oliver decided to do some research. He began by asking his parents if they knew anyone named Emma Johnson or Edward, but they shook their heads, equally puzzled. Undeterred, Oliver visited the local library, hoping to find old records that could help him. He searched through public records, old newspaper clippings, and historical documents, learning more about his town's history along the way. He even found a dusty, leather-bound book with a list of residents dating back to the early 1900s. And then, after hours of searching, he finally found a clue, an article from 1948 mentioning Emma Johnson, a young woman who had gone missing under mysterious circumstances. Piecing together clues. The article mentioned that Emma was last seen near the old bridge by the river, the very place Edward had mentioned in his letter. According to the article, she had been a kind and quiet woman, known for her work at the local bookstore and her love of poetry. Oliver's curiosity grew. What if Emma had received Edward's letter and gone to meet him, but something had happened before they could reunite? The letter in his hands could be the missing piece of a puzzle left unsolved for decades. A chance encounter. As Oliver was about to leave the library, an elderly woman approached him. She had noticed the old records he was reading and smiled warmly. You seem interested in the history of our town, she said. Oliver explained the story of the letter and his search for answers. The woman's eyes widened, and she took a seat beside him. Emma Johnson was my aunt, she said softly. Her name was Margaret, and she had been only a young girl when Emma disappeared. She hadn't known much about the details, only that her aunt had gone missing one evening and had never returned. Oliver listened intently as Margaret shared her memories, a mixture of sadness and fondness in her voice. She described Emma as a gentle soul, someone who loved music and had a beautiful singing voice. Emma had once been in love with a man named Edward, but for reasons unknown, they had been separated. An unsolved mystery. Margaret admitted that her family had always wondered what happened to Emma. My mother believed Emma had run away, but deep down, I always felt something else had happened, she said. It's been a mystery for our family ever since. Feeling a surge of determination, Oliver asked Margaret if she wanted to join him on a visit to the old bridge, where the letter had instructed Emma to meet Edward. Margaret agreed, her heart pounding with the possibility of finding answers after so many years. The journey to the bridge. The next day, Oliver and Margaret set out toward the river, following the same path Emma might have taken on that fateful night. The sky was overcast, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves as they walked. As they neared the bridge, an unspoken tension hung in the air, the weight of decades of unanswered questions pressing down on them. The bridge was old and worn, a relic of the past, with vines twisting around its wooden planks. Margaret looked around, as if hoping to catch a glimpse of Emma herself. Oliver, too, felt a strange sense of connection to the woman he had never met, whose story had now become a part of his own life. An unexpected discovery. As they crossed the bridge, Oliver noticed something glinting beneath one of the old wooden planks. He bent down and picked up a small, silver locket, its surface tarnished by time but unmistakably beautiful. The initials E.J. were engraved on the back. Margaret gasped when she saw it. "That was Emma's locket," she whispered, tears filling her eyes. "I remember it clearly. She wore it every day." Oliver opened the locket to find a small photograph inside, Emma, smiling serenely, with Edward beside her. They looked happy, lost in a world of their own. It was a bittersweet discovery, a tangible piece of Emma's life that had remained hidden all these years. Finding closure. Holding the locket brought both sorrow and relief to Margaret. She had spent so many years wondering what had happened to her aunt, and though the discovery didn't provide all the answers, it gave her a sense of closure. "Thank you, Oliver," she said, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You've helped me find a piece of Emma I thought I'd lost forever." As they walked back across the bridge, Margaret told Oliver she would keep the locket as a memory of her aunt and the love she had shared with Edward. Oliver, too, felt a deep satisfaction, knowing he had helped uncover a lost part of his family's history. Reflections. In the days that followed, Oliver continued to think about Emma and Edward, wondering what might have happened if they had met at the bridge as planned. The letter, the locket, and the story had left an indelible mark on him, teaching him the value of memories and the importance of preserving the past. Margaret, now at peace with her aunt's memory, promised to tell her family about the letter and the locket, keeping Emma's story alive for generations to come. And as for Oliver, he decided to start writing his own stories, inspired by the mystery and romance of the forgotten letter that had changed his life. Thank you for listening to The Forgotten Letter, brought to you by Story English Hub. We hope you enjoyed the mystery and learned new words along the way. Don't forget to practice the vocabulary we highlighted today. If you have a story about a family mystery or a lost item, share it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more English stories.